everybody, welcome to Harpy Stitch. This is Amy and this is my corner of the internet all about cross stitch. This is a Flosstube channel in case you've stumbled on me accidentally. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you are a returning viewer or subscriber. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I have a decent amount of stitching, not much going on in life. Been working on my portfolio. For my science licensure, that's been taking up most of my time, working my part-time job. Let's see. Finished listening to book 7 of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and as soon as I can, I'm going to be listening to book 8. I did go to the Frogwarts opening sneak preview, so we got to see the pattern and the fabric. For year 7, the pattern is cool, lots of neat stuff in it, and the fabric is beautiful. I won't be stitching it on that, but I was tempted to get the pattern to stitch other things on, or not the pattern, the fabric to stitch other things on. Once I got that basic information, I jumped out of the Frogwarts Facebook chat and I went to the Sunshine Stitchers Zoom they were having that day. It was for the antique lace sale that they were doing, but they didn't mind that I was stitching on something else. It was really fun and everybody was super welcoming. So if you get a chance, I do recommend going to one of their virtual hangouts. It was a good time. So that's about all life stuff. Yes, let's see. Yep, making sure I'm not forgetting anything because my brain is like Swiss cheese. So I have some new starts. I have whips. I have a finish slash whip, which I'm gonna kind of all do together. You'll see why when we get there. I'm gonna share again with you the pieces I'm giving away for my 3rd Flosstubers and to celebrate 300 subscribers. I'm now at 307, so if you're new, thank you. If you'd like to let me know how you found out about me, that would be great. And I have some shout outs this week. So let's jump into the stitching. All right, first is, so I talked about this last time, the Benevolence sale that I am hosting for Banner of Benevolence by Silver Creek Samplings. I said I was going to start it. I did pretty much right after the Flosstube because it's what I felt like stitching. So if you are not familiar, it is this. I am not normally a patriotic stitcher, but this piece encompasses what I want my country to be. So I thought I would try to manifest the country as I think it should be by stitching this and maybe having some others stitch with me. I know Jason X Stitches has joined in, though he's changing all the colors because he doesn't want it to be patriotic. I wish I had thought of that before. I mean, you could change it to be any country, like by just changing the wavy flag colors, or I think he's doing it in a rainbow thing, so he's just gonna get really pretty straight colored letters. And Sloan Stitches, Jess at Sloan Stitches, is also joining me in this. I believe Wendy of Stitching in the Matrix is as well. So if you are interested, I originally planned to start it on July 4th. Now my plan is to stitch everything but the word love before the 4th, and then I will make that the last thing that I stitch. So the last thing I plan on stitching is the word love, hopefully to finish it up on July 4th. Though I do have to work July the 4th, I found out. And I don't get time and a half, but oh well. It's just a couple hours in the morning, it'll be fine. But this is the thing. I am doing this called for, so I did start this on May 31st. I'm doing it on 18 count Old Gold by Fiber on a Whim. I do feel like my cut of this is much darker than it was in the model. Theirs seemed to be lighter. So here is my fabric, and I will probably have some space left. And I am doing it with all the called for colors, which are Gentle Arts, Mustard Seed, Old Red Paint, Oatmeal, and Uniform Blue. I also feel that the blue is less blue and more gray. I'm pretty sure this is what they used to call Confederate gray. But part of me is like, you know what? I'm kind of fine with that because this is kind of up yours to anybody who still thinks the way the Confederates did. So I will stitch the message opposite Sorry, I was trying to get it to fold. And then I feel like my old red paint is much lighter than the one in the model. And I mean, that could be the photography too. But I've gotten all the blue lettering done. I've gotten, my cat just knocked a can off the counter if you heard that. I've got the stars on this section done, and I started writing in Friends. And I think that's where I will continue over. And then I'll move back up to the top so that I'll have love left. So this is my banner of Benevolence by Silver Creek Samplings. And this is such a fast stitch. I am doing the same thing that Jason X Stitches is doing. So when I'm doing the letters, I'm like doing the variegation. I'm not folding it over like I usually do to do a loop start so I can get more variegation. But so like I'm going up one side of the letter, down the other, kind of like I would write it, instead of going straight across. So that's how I'm dealing with that one. And as I said, it stitches up super quick. I'm actually surprised at how fast it stitches up. It's a super easy pattern to read, and it's just easy and it's fun. I'm not usually a stitch the letters person, but this one I'm enjoying quite a bit. Maybe because of the meaning I've applied to it for myself. All right, my next start is one of the baby gifts that I am going to do. I talked about this as well last time, I think. So this is the design, and it is the Moment of Fun. It is called the Butterfly Silhouette, and it is by Perry Abdel Hadi, which I did not realize. And I'm like, oh, she's a Muslim designer. So I thought that was pretty cool. I should look her up. But this is what it will look like when it's done. It is for some coworkers who are having a baby, and they do know it's going to be a little girl. So this is just some 28 count even weave white. I think I actually got it at Michael's. It wasn't in my stash. I didn't have exactly the right size in my stash. So this is the beginning of the girl's legs on the swing. And this will fit in with one of my pride prompts. Sorry, I'm going to try to brighten it up since it went dark on me. But I haven't gotten super far, but I'm hoping to get another 500 into it this week. My coworker will be going on maternity leave the second try, our family leave, because Minnesota just made it so everybody can get paid leave. Family leave for medical stuff. Which increased taxes a little bit, but I'm fine with that. So in addition to the like long-term leave you can take through the district, the state will put in some money too if you need to take family leave, which I think is awesome. So her wife is due any day now. I think they're gonna have the baby this summer. Wife will stay home with the baby the first try. She's the one carrying the baby, and then my co-workers will take her time off the second try so that the baby will have a nice long time at home. Plus, it's hard to get childcare for an infant who's very young. All right, there are 36 colors in that, and I started it June 3rd. My other baby gift that I also started on June 3rd is called Crazy Quilt Bear, and it is by Margaret G. Cole. Oh, I should tell you, the Moment of Fun is in World of Cross Stitching, just in case you want to go hunt it down. Where is it? June 2023, issue 333. This is the cover. I'm also working on Matilda. Though I haven't worked on her in a while, I got to get on that. And this is in Cross Stitcher. Ooh, let's not make sure I don't show the pattern. April 2010, which I've had this one for a long time. I've literally kept this magazine because I wanted to find somebody to make this for, because I think it's super cute. So this is called Crazy Quilt Teddy Bear by Margaret G. Cole. All right, so that's what it's supposed to look like. So I was looking for some, I didn't want to do it on plain white fabric. And so what I ended up doing is I ended up going to Michael's and getting the DMC blue and green kind of printed fabric that I did my Kingdoms of Life from Stitchonomy on. And I am not sticking with the called for colors. Well, I'm sticking with some of the called for colors. All right, so I got them. This is also going to stitch up super fast. I love you this much. because the bear's got it out. And then instead of using the browns for the bear, the person I'm making it for likes teals and greens. So a lot of these colors I kept the same because they work still, but the outline is going to be in this turquoisey teal. So I subbed 909, and instead of 3346, I'm doing 3812 instead of 407, and I'm doing 3844 instead of 920. But a lot of the colors are going to stay the same because it's just cute. So yeah, that is where this is at. And my goal is to try to get these done before like Thanksgiving. There are 11 colors in that teddy bear. And as I said, it also started that on June 3rd. Okay, so now my whips. I've been still focusing on my weeklies. I've been doing some pride stitching, which I could use this next thing I'm going to show you for some of the pride stitching. Because it's different colors like black, brown, the rainbows of colors. And so I've been getting some work on some stuff using that. Made some really good progress. All right, so first I have this famous design. Oh wait, I'm gonna flip it over so you get the bigger picture. Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplers, or Samplings, excuse me. I am working on the first block. I haven't started on any of the other blocks yet. I should look and see if there's anything I can use for any of my prompts because I love this piece. Love it, love it, love it. It hasn't been called for Whip Go, or so I haven't got my 2026 stitches on it yet. So this is where I am at. I started this on May 26th of last year. It is on 40 count Inca by Fox and Rabbit. I'm doing it 1/2, and I am so close to having this block done. I need to do the moon, the spiders in the corner, and the bats, and then I need to do the back stitch in the building, and that's it, and finish up that little bit of border, and then I will move over to the second block, which is the graveyard. So yes, I just took it out of the hoop. Oh, I did. Look. Can you see him? I got the snake's tongue in. So I am in this block probably 85% done. And I'm going to pull this back again and open the fabric up a little bit because I love this fabric so much. It is so pretty. Peek. So yes, this is, I know this will take me several years to do, but I'm very excited to get some progress on it and get it done. And I haven't even finished my 2,000 stitches for the year, so that will be another one that's probably on my list of things I want to work on next year. Okay, next. This is the one I was saying that was kind of a finish and a whip at the same time. So this is Frogwarts, years 1 through 6. Year 7 will start. We are supposed to get the boxes sometime this month, and the beginning of stitching the project is like June 28th. So then that's when we can start to stitch on it to try to finish. Although I'm not competing this year, so I could start on it before that, as soon as I get my box if I want. And as soon as I get I'm going to do the digital pattern. It just makes everything so much faster. But this is what it will look like when it is all done, minus year 7, because I don't have that yet. All right, so my Frogwarts. I was very excited because between challenge stitching, I got all my red and blue diamonds done and my browns, because I worked on this for the brown. And oh wait, no, I worked on, not that for the brown, I've had that done for a long time. I worked on the dogs for the brown, 500 stitches, and then I needed 500 stitches of red and blue, so I used that to finish off. And then I was so close, all I had was the mirror, as Era said. So I finished that off. I used a toile, 2 colors of a toile for the mirror. And I finished my Frogwarts year 1. So I have now finished 3 of the years. my idealistic want to do everything brain wanted me to finish all of these before this year's Frogwarts, so I could have it all done with year 7, but that didn't happen. However, I had to do 500 stitches of green, so I got very far on the basilisk in year 2. And I still have some stitching I want to do. And then here I got 500 stitches in purple for my monthly challenges, and I couldn't resist. I used him for some challenges, for weekly challenges, and I went over the number because I wanted to finish the Monster Book of Monsters, and I replaced, and I know it's hard to see here, but I replaced the called for brown with whisper thread, and then I took a little mascara brush and I fuzzed it up so he would look fuzzy. He looked so weird before I got his fur in, though, because I wanted to have all of the other colors in before I did the fur. And then after I finished him all up, I took the little mascara brush and I made it so that all the little whispery things got pulled out in a, yeah. So let me pull this back. So there's year 1, 2, and 3. And then there's 4, which I haven't worked on. But 5 and 6, as I've shown y'all before, are done. I cannot wait until this is all done. I just have to decide if I want to use Halloween for Hawkrun Hollow for black challenge color stitching this month, or my footprints to get this all filled in. So that is Frogwarts. I have finished 3 of the 6 years that I have, and I'm eagerly awaiting getting year 7. I'm probably going to use some more prompts to work on this some more before Frogwarts. But there's other things I want to work on too. I am getting to the point where I just want to stitch on what I want to stitch, and I love the challenges, and I like the challenge of matching the projects with the prompts, but I'm not. There's a certain point where I start to burn out on it, and I'm like, I just want to stitch. But luckily I have a variety, but I'm trying to use it to finish my 26 for 2026. So mostly what I'm burning out is watching as many musicals. I just, like, last year was Doctor Who, and I love Doctor Who. I got burnt out on watching Doctor Who because I had to watch it when I wanted. I couldn't just, you know, binge it when I wanted and then wait. I had to, yeah. So I have learned that I am not good with, I can do it for about half of the year, and then I'm burnt out on watching what people tell me to watch, even if it's something I really like. All right, so next is 100 Owls by Forest Embroidery. I can't talk. This is the mock-up that is on the page for the floss list. So I did not have a ton of this done, but it is one of my 26 for 2026. I started this on May 12th, 2025. It is on 32 count water lily linen. There are 15 colors, and I'm doing it 2/2. I have achieved my goal of 2,026 stitches. So I had just a few, I had basically this guy, this corner, this here, and this done before I started stitching on the goal for this year. And I think I had part of this first owl over here done. But look at that. I am all the way across the top now. And I've got a beginning on the central circular guy. So this actually stitches up pretty quick too. I'm just using the called for DMC. This is a free pattern on their website. It is always free on their website, but I didn't order their floss pack or anything. That will probably end up being a gift for my coworker who's obsessed with owls, even though I didn't know him when I started making it. I've already given my kid some owl stuff that I've made her, so. All right, now, I was hoping to have exhibit 2 of this next piece done for you before my floss tube, but other things came up and had to do stuff, so I couldn't quite get there. I almost got there, I've got like less than 400 stitches left and it would be complete. This is Museum After Midnight by Lola Crow. I started this on April 4th of this year. It was a belated birthday start. I am doing it on 32 count feldspar by Picture This Plus. It is Belfast linen, and it has 32 colors, and I'm doing it 2/1. So that is where I'm at. Let me drop that down now. Whoop, whoop. All right, so let's zoom in. I'm gonna fold it in half since I have finished all of Exhibit 1. This is part of Exhibit 1, that's part of Exhibit 1. These two guys are Exhibit 2. This is an armored fish named a Dunk something. He's got a silly name. Dunk is his first part of his name. And then this is the rest of Exhibit 1, which is totally done. And then this is going to be a Helicron shark. I think that's how you say it. And he is all I have left. But everything is backstitch of what's done, so this stitches up really fast too. It's amazing how, yeah. It's awesome. I love it. This is another one of those things that, as being a science teacher, I kind of want to put it in my classroom, but with the hand-dyed fabric, and I don't want to put something on. I don't want kids touching it. My Kingdoms of Life, it was just the DMC fabric, so I can wash that if I have to, but that I can't wash. So, and then I can't put it in behind glass because they'll knock it off the wall and the glass will break. So I guess if I wanted it in my room, I'd have to put it under plexi and put it somewhere where they can't touch it. But it's super cool and it's educational, and I really want that and the Garden of Curiosities and the Haunted Library. The birds one, not like it's beautiful, but I don't want to stitch it. But all of her other stuff, oh my gosh, I want to stitch it so bad. All right, so that is all the stitching. I was going to work on my Supernatural Sal by the Witchy Stitcher, but then I went to start working on it. I was like, oh wait, this isn't one of my 26 for 2026. I can't use it for Off-Broadway. Then I was looking at it, because it is one of my WIPCO calls this month, and I realized that I was off on the siren frame and on the side frame, so I spent one whole day frogging all of that, and I just haven't faced going back to it yet. But that will be something that I do work on at least one more day this month, and so when you see it, it'll probably be less done than there was before, but it will be done correctly this time, I hope. So yeah, I wasn't going to show you my going back in time on that piece. So I did work on it, but all that work was froggy. So last time I did a giveaway. Excuse me. I am not drawing the giveaway today. I will draw that on the 29th. Excuse me, when I film my Flosstubers episode, but I do want to show you, if you missed last episode, what the giveaway items are. So I have ink circles, turtles all the way down. If you are interested in winning these items, please go back to my previous video and comment there. That is where I will be drawing from. I have Bouville Express. Okay. And then this is a old school Dickens stocking. Okay, so those are the three things I'm giving away in Flosstube 63. That is where you need to comment and find out the keywords to enter to win one of those. So other than shoutouts, that is all I've got for you this week. All right, I have been trying in the mornings before I work on my portfolio to watch Flosstube. I'm going through my sub list alphabetically, trying to get some people I've been subscribed to for a while, but I've never watched just because time. So I've been working my way through, and so I thought I would share a few that I've finally gotten to watch, or if I'd watched one of theirs, it was so long ago. So here are 3 Flosstubers that are not new to Flosstube, but I finally got around to watching some of their videos. So there's Enchanting Stitching Dawn, also known as Fairy Rose. She is 3 subs short of 1,000. She last posted in January of this year. It was her whip parade. I am hoping that she will come back because she has some gorgeous projects that I would like to see. She has 134 whips. I still haven't finished her whip parade because it was 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and I had to pause to go to work. She has a wide variety. She's Chatelaine, Samplers, Full Coverage, Lola Crow, Frogwarts, Halloween. So I'm pretty sure that I found her through Frogwarts. So if you have an interest in any of those areas, I suggest checking out her channel, at least to enable you to find some more projects. Crossstitch Vienna, I know I've watched her before, but it was a long time ago. Her name is Annetta. She is in Europe. She is a goth cross-stitch designer, and I think everything she showed in the episode that I watched was her designs. One of the cool things she does is that she bases all of her designs in folklore. She is of Polish heritage. I'm not sure if she lives in Poland, but she's of Polish heritage. I can't talk today. And so all of her patterns are based on Polish dark, like fairy tale kind of stuff. But she's also, while she's doing that designing, she's taking those Polish folktales and she's translating them into English and like talking about the background. Like she puts them up so you can see the folklore that you're stitching and sharing the history of the stories. And so she's doing like folklore history as well as cross stitch design. So if you're interested in either of those things, it might be a thing to check out. And another thing she's doing, and I remember seeing this on her channel before, but it's been a really long time, is she has a Google map set up to track all the cross-stitch stores in the world. And she has one where you can just view it. So like if you're going to travel to the UK or Poland or whatever, you can find out where the cross-stitch stores, like the brick and mortar stores, are going to be, so that you can shop at them. She's like, we need to keep these little places alive. She also has a link on her YouTube where if you know of local needlework shops in your area, you can add those to the list so that no matter where somebody goes in the world, they can find the local needle shops to find local cross-stitch stores. So if you're not maybe into Gothic cross-stitch or folklore cross-stitch, it might be worth it to check out her channel just to get a list of all the cross-stitch stores, or to add to her list of cross-stitch stores so that we have a full directory of all the wonderful places we can go to get stitchy stuff. So there's that. And my final YouTube channel for you, or Flosstube channel for you, is Creativity by Gidge. I'm assuming, I think Gidget from the old TV show. This is another cross-stitcher named Amy. It's always fun to find another Amy in this hobby. And I have been, sorry, I was trying to decipher my own notes. I used not complete sentences and my brain was like, what did I mean by that for a second? I've been subbed to her for a while, but I just really got started watching her this week because I have so many. Let's see. She has at least 2 cats. She has a variety of projects. She does a lot of like nerdy fandom kind of stuff, as well as projects like Hades. She has a goal of finishing 50 projects by the time she's 50, so kind of the opposite of what I did for my 50th birthday, where I started 50 projects in my 50th year. She also does Fancy Ladies and Halloween. She has got about 497 subscribers, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Me and my brain and numbers don't work all the time. But please check her out. She has some really nice stuff. I hope you enjoyed this time with me. Please let me know how you found me, what you're working on. If you have any questions, feel free to answer. If you want one of those items that I'm giving away, please check the previous video. My next video will either be my Frogwarts unboxing or my whip parade, which will be long. I don't know how many whips I have at the moment, but yeah. it's over 50 or close to 50, maybe 40. Well, let's see, I think I was down to 47, so I'm probably back at 50 with the 3 that I started this month. So I hope you are feeling well. You have a good couple of stitchy weeks until I see you again. And I hope you are enjoying your summer weather. Our weather is supposed to be in the 60s and 70s as the highs for the next couple of weeks, which is unusually cool, but I'm going to enjoy it while I got it. Anyway, I hope you are well. Have a great couple of weeks. So long, and thanks for all the stitch. Bye.